This is an install video for the Fabless Manufacturing Hidden Hood Strut Kit for the Mark II Volkswagen Golf or Jetta. When you receive your kit in the mail, this is the box that'll come in. Basically you open it up and you're greeted with a keychain. Pull that aside, and then you have your right and your left hinges, your gas shocks, your hardware packs to your left, and then your lower shock supports right here. After you've pulled all the parts out of your box, basically lay everything out on the table, mirror image to one another. So you have the right hinge here, you have the left hinge on this side, your lower shock support right and left, and then your shocks and your packets of hardware. I'm going to take your packet of hardware, open it all up, and your ball ends are going to be what you want to install first. Basically you want to work in pairs, so you want to finish this, let's say the right side first, with the matching nuts that are provided in the kit, like that. So this is before tightening everything up. Basically you can see how everything's mirror imaged. The ball ends are facing up and outwards. Now we can go ahead and tighten it up. 1/2 inch socket, 1/2 inch wrench. You can have 2 wrenches, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so now your ball ends are tightened down and ready for the next step. We're going to take the gas shocks and we're going to release the ball pin clip in each side, upper and lower. Set that aside. Basically, these just clip with your fingernail and then they slide outwards. They just hold the ball end in. So basically what you'll do now is you will put your shocks on the ball ends on the hinges first, like that, and then you want to slide in your little retainers. Make sure that they slide all the way through to the other end of the hole. That. I just show you guys in detail how the actual retainer clip goes in, feeds through the small hole in the start, goes to the very end, and then you just push it around. Just like that. Alright, so you can start to see what the kit looks like when it's partly assembled. Alright, so now we got the lower shock mounts. Basically everything assembled like this on the hinges. One last thing you want to do before carrying it over to the car, you want to take your M6 button head hardware and feed some hardware through the very top. That'll keep the backer plate on the actual carrier. You leave this hardware loose, so you're able to slide it over the basically the hood catch that's built onto the car. You do the right side, then you do the left side. And the other baggie in the kit consists of hood hardware. You get M6 flange bolts, get 4 of them, 2 P-clamps for the windshield sprayer hose, and then you get 2 rivets that attach these P-clamps to the actual hinges themselves. So as you see here, we've already removed the rain tray cover, and we took the hood off. You don't have to take the hood off for this kit. You can do one side at a time if you're by yourself. But you do have to remove the blower motor cover by pulling there's a small clip in here you slide back, and then you're able to, just be careful because the actual gasket around these are really gentle. Then you would take a small pick, and there is a clip up here that you need to pull apart for the hinge. The next step on the left side, or for us it would be the driver's side, ECM box. So you have an M10 plastic nut down here. You remove that nut, it's already pre-loosened, and gently pull the box back out of the way. And just like the first side we did, there's a little clip that you need to remove up here. It's a little bit tricky because you have the actual wiper motor and arms in the way. You get the clip off, and you're able to, here's a clip right there. Hinges are out. So next step you do is you take the assembly off the table, like at the start of the video, FM facing outwards, and you take the pivot point of the shock and make sure to slide it over the pin underneath the windshield cowl. Make sure it's all the way in. You basically lift up the hinge and make sure that your lower shock support is straddled the actual hood catch that's built onto the car. Then after that, we take our hardware, put our M6 hardware in place. It's an M4 Allen with an M10 nut. And once you get all that together, you then take your clip, slide your clip into place. It's kind of hard to see up there, but clip it in place. How your whole assembly is. So what you do is you're going to want to tighten the top and bottom bolts, but first I'm going to turn this around so the button head is actually facing forward on the car. It gives more clearance for the actual catch on the hinge. And we have found that it's easier for the nut to be facing forward just for tightening purposes. Tighten all that down. And one thing you want to make sure is you want to make sure that your lower shock support is in line with this hood catch that's built onto the car. And that side's installed. Alright, so now we're on to the left side. Same as the right side, you want to get the pivot point set on the hinge first. Get that into place, and then lower shock support. There you go. And then you're going to want to take your M6 hardware. Same. To the back side. It's a little bit tricky sometimes. There's not a whole lot of room in here. There you go. Get that through. washer and the nut installed. Again, making sure that the lower support is in line with the hood catch that's built onto the car. And we tighten it up. After everything's bolted down, you want to reach up inside and push the clip in place. There you go. And the last thing before the hood gets reinstalled are the small P-clamps and the rivet. Basically goes on the outside, and you can either rivet this on the car, there's room for the gun, or you can do it on the table. And the hose just fits through that P-clamp and up into the hood. If you guys are still running the factory ECM cage on the Mark II, you will need to do a little bit of trimming in this area. We will have complete how-to photos at the end of this video on how to do that and to make it look OEM.